Today we're taking a look at these college football matches, which are happening on Friday, December 23, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus check out our Patreon in the link down below if you want access for our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. Make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Louisiana Ragin Cajuns vs Houston Cougars. The Louisiana Ragin Cajuns head into this game 6-6 this season. In their last matchup, the Ragin Cajuns went up against the Texas State Bobcats and went home with a win by a final score of 41-13. Drellin Washington was the leader on the ground for the Ragin Cajuns with 10 totes for 73 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. Chandler Fields connected on 16-26 with 187 yards passing and 2 TDs. He had a quarterback rate of 139.6 and finished the game with 1 interception. When it came to stopping the run, the Ragin Cajuns gave up 223 yards on 37 tries, which is an average of 6.0 yards per run allowed. Louisiana gave up 13 completions on 27 tries for a total of 133 yards and a completion percentage of 48.1%. On the day, they tallied 68 plays which converted into 436 yards. The Louisiana Ragin Cajuns ended up running the ball 36 different times and totaled 165 yards, which had them averaging 4.6 yards per carry. The Ragin Cajuns sit in 37th in college football regarding their opponent's scoring, conceding 22.8 points per game. The opposition is running for an average of 4.0 yards per run and 142.3 rushing yards per contest so far this year. During this campaign, they have given up 1,708 yards via the ground game in 12 outings. Concerning passing yardage, the Ragin Cajuns are allowing 2,632 yards, which puts them in 54th in the country. They have conceded 219.3 yards per game via the pass, as well as allowing a completion percentage of 56.8%. During the season, they have relinquished 361.6 yards contest, which has them ranked 48th in the country. They have surrendered 16 touchdowns via the pass, as well as 18 touchdowns pounding the rock. Houston will join the Big 12 last season, and for a program that faced Auburn in a bowl game last year, you might believe they will be less motivated, but that's not what I expect. Louisiana is from the smaller conference, but for their experienced players, this season was a significant drop-off from 2021 as well. The Ragin Cajuns also have 2 of their top playmakers out, whereas Houston receiver Nathaniel Dell made a statement that this game matters, but electing to suit up one more time, despite his plans to leave after this game for the NFL. Houston was only held below 30 points once this season, and Louisiana was held to less than 22 points 5 times. Houston's passing defense may have struggled this season, but Louisiana will enter this game without a single pass catcher, with more than 278 receiving yards on the season. The combination of quarterback Tune and Dell will be too explosive for the Ragin Cajuns to keep up with. Lay the points with Houston. Our first pick is Houston Cougars -7 points. Louisiana's offense will be without their starting quarterback and their leading receiver for the Independence Bowl, so don't expect the offensive to be explosive at all. With the offense being without 2 of their key players, they will struggle against the Houston defense, especially considering Houston will have all of its key units. Houston's offense will be at full force with Tune leading the passing offense and rushing offense. The Ragin Cajuns averaged 27 points per game and surrendered 22.8 points per game. The Cougars averaged 37.2 yards per game and conceded 33.5 points per game. With this being said, expect the Louisiana defense to slow Houston down a bit and the Houston defense to make a lot of stops and offer a huge challenge to a thin Louisiana offense. Our second pick is under 58.5 points. Wake Forest Demon Deacons vs Missouri Tigers. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons come into this matchup with a record of 7-5 for this year. In their last matchup, the Demon Deacons faced the Duke Blue Devils and walked away from this one with a loss by a score of 34-31. Sam Hartman connected on 26 40-seconds with 347 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. He had a quarterback rating of 150.1 and finished the contest with 1 pick. Justice Ellison was the best rusher for the Demon Deacons with 10 carries for 42 yards, 4.2 yards per attempt. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons ran the football 32 times and accrued 106 yards, which is an average of 3.3 yards per tote. Overall, they had 74 plays which gave them a total of 453 yards. Wake Forest gave up 29 pass completions on 41 tries for a total of 391 yards and a completion rate of 70.7%. In the running game, the Demon Deacons gave up 116 yards on 30 attempts, which is an average of 3.9 yards per run allowed. The Demon Deacons are ranked 95th in D1 when it comes to their opponent's scoring, allowing 29.3 ppg. They are giving up 3.8 yards per rushing attempt and 137.6 rushing yards per game on the season. Overall, they have given up 1,651 rushing yards through 12 games. When it comes to yards via the pass, the Demon Deacons have conceded 3,276 yards, which has them sitting in 113th in Division I. They have given up 273.0 yards per contest via the pass, in addition to conceding a completion percentage of 60.1%. In total, they have surrendered 410.6 yards game, which has them ranked 95th in college football. They have surrendered 28 touchdowns through the air, as well as 13 touchdowns running the ball. The Tigers closed out the regular season by winning 4 of their last 6 games. They don't have an explosive offense and rely heavily on their ground game, which is 62nd in the country. Unfortunately for them, the Demon Deacons played very well against the run, with the 46th best run defense in the country, and they played better in their last 3 games, holding opponents under 125 points per game. With the Tigers struggling to throw the ball and the team being without their leading receiver, expect the Demon Deacons to keep their offense in check. The Demon Deacons didn't play as well at the end of the season, but 3 of their last 5 games came on the road against a team that won at least 8 games. They are very good offensively and have the 10th best passing game in the country. Even though the Tigers played well against the pass, they struggled in their last 3 games, giving up over 260 passing yards per game, and will have a hard time slowing down the Demon Deacons, so go with Wake Forest to cover the spread. Our first pick is Wake Forest Demon Deacons -1 point. The Tigers step onto the field holding a record of 6-6 for this season. The last time they took the gridiron, the Tigers walked away with a victory by a final of 29-27 when they faced the Arkansas Razorbacks. Brady Cook carried the ball 18 times for 138 yards, finishing the contest with 7.7 yards per carry for Missouri. Brady Cook, 1 TD, ended the contest with 242 yards on 16-26 through the air, while his QB rate was 152.4. He kept the ball away from the defense with no interceptions, and his average yards per attempt was 9.3. Missouri relinquished 38 running attempts for 113 yards, 3.0 yards per rush. The Tigers' pass defense conceded a completion percentage of 71.4%, surrendering 212 yards on 20 for 28 passing. The Tigers finished the contest with a total of 468 yards, while running 65 plays, 7.2 yards per play. Missouri ran for 5.8 yards per attempt, finishing with 226 yards on 39 carries. These two teams have a reputation for exciting offensive showings, but I predict that they will both be muted in this bowl game. Both schools are missing key pieces of their teams, and there will be an adjustment period as players who haven't played many snaps together go through growing pains getting used to each other. Additionally, the total has gone under in 6 of the past 8 games for Wake Forest, evidence that they haven't been clicking as well in the second half of the season. Missouri has seen the total go under in 8 of their 12 games this year. While some people see these offensive numbers and expect a shootout, I think that's a trap. There's been a good deal of roster turnover, and that will show up in offensive execution. Our second pick is under 58.5 points.